On the day the woman got married, her fiancé abandoned her and left with his lover. But the woman didn't try to stop him because from that very moment she had already decided how she would take revenge for herself. Everyone knew that as the president of the top financial group, her methods were ruthless, and those who offended her never ended well because she firmly believed that only by holding power could she become a queen. When she was 7, she discovered her father was cheating. She didn't cry and beg him to stay like her mother did. Instead, she calmly gathered evidence and ultimately forced him to leave in disgrace. When she had just become an adult, she used her own intelligence to defeat over a dozen heirs competing for the president position, defeating every one of them and securing her seat as the company's president. But on that day, when she first met her fiancé, she completely fell in love with him because even though he had a severe cleanliness obsession for the sake of rescuing stray animals, he still held them in his arms. That kindness moved a woman who had known betrayal since childhood to get engaged to him even though his family wasn't powerful. She still insisted on her choice. And after they were together, she hid her true nature and took care of him meticulously from clothes to accessories. As long as he mentioned something, the gift would show up in his hands the next moment. Even his struggling family slowly improved with her help. She knew he had a cleanliness obsession, so she never had physical contact with him. But what woman in love doesn't look forward to her fiancé being close to her? Yet the first time he held hands was to take his lover away from her wedding. An hour later, the fact that she was publicly abandoned became the hottest news facing online ridicule. She immediately decided to strike back, so she calmly ordered her assistant to short her fiancé's entire company and drive it to bankruptcy. The next day, his company suffered heavy losses, losing $700 million instantly, and he and his family could no longer sit still. He immediately called her, still confidently believing she did all this to force him to break up with his lover, so he arrogantly demanded she stop. She hung up on him immediately, finding him ridiculous from the moment he walked out with his lover. The kindness that once attracted her had already vanished. The man he was now, in her eyes, was no different from her past rivals. In just a few minutes of that call, his company lost another $1 billion. His parents rushed over, begging her to spare them. Seeing his mother still acting superior and even blaming her, she rejected their plea, stating bluntly that she only respected them because they were her fiancé's parents. But now that they had broken up and she had been humiliated, of course she would take revenge. The discussion ended badly, and her ex-fiancé became furious to get back at her. He immediately planned a live stream, and in front of all the viewers, he pretended he would jump off a building to pressure her, even acting like he was the victim, claiming that during their relationship she didn't respect him or his parents, and even his clothing choices had to follow her orders. And that was exactly his purpose, to use public opinion to force her. He succeeded. The viewers were fooled and voluntarily boycotted all of her company's products, and the public pressure angered her company's board, and they even considered removing her as president. The foolish ex-fiancé didn't know that this wouldn't defeat her, and would only accelerate his own company's downfall, because from this moment on, she would never show him mercy again.